Oh, that's cool. So what were some of the weird, like crazy flavors that you guys did?
Um, we did one of them that was like the most surprising. I'd say we did a spinach ice cream base with a strawberry balsamic swirl.
Huh.
So it's a very light spinach base. It's not, like eating a heavy salad, but it did have a nice, beautiful green tint to it. And then when you add a strawberry balsamic swirl, it's almost like a strawberry jam that has a tint of the vinegar bitterness. So it just really accents the. It's because it's not a very heavy sweet spinach base. It is very. It's not savory either. It just kind of has that neutral salad element to it. But then when you get the sweetness of the strawberry with that little hint of the bitterness of the vinegar, it creates this amazing, crazy flavor combination.
Whoa.
And so like that was like I'd say one of the ones I was most surprised by, just because like you invent something like that to almost satisfy your creative inner artist. You don't necessarily think that necessarily everyone's gonna respond well to it, but it surprisingly like sold and had a decent number of units sell. So um, that was one that was surprising. We did uh, one of the ones that was like very polarizing was the one that we finished off the season with, which was a pine essence with sea salt and blueberries.
Okay.
So that one's like eating blueberries in a forest, and then that's probably the best way I could describe it. Like so, yeah, you take distilled pine needle essence. There's a company in Oregon that does that, makes edible pine essence. Um, and then you take that, put it in a sweet cream base, add a little bit of sea salt, and then once that's kind of made into the base, you add a blueberry jam swirl throughout, so you have this almost marbly um, type of look where you have this blue swirl throughout a kind of more paler white base. It's really interesting. I'd say it's polarizing because I will admit, like this is the throwing science at the wall kind of thing. When I developed that flavor, it was the pine scent is really strong to smell, but very hard to taste.
Oh,
So I
okay.
added probably a little more pine than I should have. I will admit I made that mistake. Then so when the flavor came out, some people were like, I'd say at least 80% of the people hated it. Like they would try it, they were like, "Dear God, what abomination is this?" Like some people described it as like blueberry pine sol, and I'm like, that's a little hurtful, but I appreciate the honesty.
Mm-hmm.
And then there were like the remaining 10-20% absolutely loved it. They're like, I've never had anything this unusual. Like they're very, I would describe as very outdoorsy people. They love camping. They love chewing pine needles and stuff like that. And
Oh my
so
gosh.
they that 10-20% was able to like float enough sales that was actually surprisingly a decent seller, despite the fact that like the vehement vitriol of hate that the majority of people felt about this flavor.
Right.
Yeah,
That sounds
so
good, man. I want to try that.
it is super interesting. Just, I mean, it is a boundless, endless frontier of what you can do with ice cream.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's cool about are there a lot of most shops do that where they'll kind of just experiment with stuff and then throw it out for a second? Is that not that's not really common?
No, I'd say probably 80%. I don't know. This is an anecdote.